join me here today on the last day of the winter timetable for 2025. And we're here in Bournemouth Square today, as not only is it the last day of the winter timetable, it's also the last day of operation for four routes today. Well, 3 and 1's being rerouted. So join me as we go on one more ride on the 5, 5A, 6A and later the FE1 as we get ready to welcome in Morebus's new timetable. So join me, Aaron as Jack, as we go on the Morebuses. Time to roll the intro. Now our first day of the bus, our first bus of the day is just behind me there, it's the number 5. We'll be going on 1411 all the way down into Kinston as we look at the old route, and while we're on the journey, we'll tell you a bit about the way the new route's going. There's a nice 18 coming in behind me, 1263. I wouldn't mind getting a ride on that, nice Triton engine, but let's go and get on an Olympus, shall we? Now with the 5 in the state it is of the day of recording, we were still on the old winter timetable, but now we're in the summer timetable. So with the route in its state as of filming, you leave Bournemouth Square heading up through Horseshoe Common, up towards Lansdowne, going through Bournemouth Railway Station, Winton Banks, Charminster, Alma Road, then through to Winton, down Red Hill, and then onto Leybourne Avenue, Brook Road, and then into Cunningham Crescent. But on the new route, instead, when you get to Red Hill, you go straight down onto Columbia Road like the 5A would. Following it round, you will then get down to Kinston Road before you chuck a right, all the way down, then turning left back up onto Montgomery Avenue, and then continuing the route as it would normally go. Now for me, the 5 has gone through many changes over the years, as I first remember it as the Super 6, then it became the 5B, then after that it became the 5, the V2 and V4, and then back to the 5, and then when yellows went under, Morebus took over, it retained itself as the 5. Now, it is weird knowing that the 5 will essentially, from Winton, be going the route that the 2B sort of did, so it would be going down Columbia, turning right down Kinston Road, then up onto up Montgomery onto Cunningham Crescent. If you do want to see the 2B, obviously links will be in the description to that video, but again, it's just weird that they're changing the routes, but I'll let you enjoy the old route and we'll see you in Cunningham Crescent. I just got off here at Cunningham Crescent. There goes 1411 off to Kinston. Now, if you're here at Cunningham Crescent, you will be getting a bit of a service boost with the new timetable, as you'll be getting 3 buses through here instead of the usual 2. Now, the last time Cunningham Crescent saw 3 buses and all 3 bus routes coming through was when you had the R's, the V's, and before that it would have been the 5A, 5B, oh no, in 5A went the other way, the 5B, 2B and the 14. So the new route, the 21, will come down through here, and at this junction here where all the buses usually turn right down to Cunningham Place, 21 will turn left, go up Burney Road, full looping back round and going up to the new trading estate. But next bus we're going to jump on is the 5A, so we're going to walk down to Kinston from here and then hop on. Now here, I'm at Springwater Road, Moore Avenue Park stop. As from tomorrow, this part of West Howe will no longer see a bus service. Only down at the top there where the 14 and the 21 will be, but there'll be no buses coming along here. As you can see, it has been put on here. It says from Saturday the 24th of May, this stop will no longer be served. Customers are advised to use the revised 5 route from Cunningham Place as an alternative. And the Cunningham Place stop is the main stop. It's actually in this thumbnail. It's just down Moore Avenue back where the routes usually divulge. But if you're like me and you actually know what's happening, I just walk down to the end of Springwater, turn left, you've got the 21, and the 14 also goes from the bottom there. It's quite strange to see that my first bus stop, yes, this is the stop I used to catch when I was a baby. I was in the block of flats just there. So for me, losing this bus route is something quite close to me, because when I grew up it was the 5, and then when Transdev took over it became the 5A, and I remember it through the V's and back to the 5A's, then when Yellows went under and Morebus took over. It feels like I'm losing a part of me, but I'm not going to get sentimental. It's a bus route. I understand they have to make changes, what makes them money, what's profitable, but we will see how these routes go. Now, we are going to go and hop on the 5A when it comes back up. We're going to get it from the other side of the road. We'll take a walk down there in a minute and hop on when it comes back up. Our vehicle should be 1608, and we will ride that Kinston, then we'll start the time lapse from Kinston back to town, and then we'll go for a ride on the 6A before we head off to Pulp and catch the FE1. Let's go and find the other bus stop, shall we? Now, as we walk from this bus stop, a nice little bit of information for you all. Back when I was younger, there actually used to be another 5A service. Now, this service would loop around the bit here, Springwater Road, and it would stop just on the end here. I haven't got the picture anymore, but I used to have a picture that my father took of a Leyland open topper parked just there where the lamppost is. You can see the 14 in the distance, but the other stop we would go to, cross the road, cross through, so all this will no longer have a bus serving it. You can see the 14 just turning up towards Cunningham Crescent now as we walk down here. So yeah, again, it's just surreal knowing that this part, Bournemouth, will no longer see a regular bus service. I know it's only one road, but after all the years of it being served, at least 30, maybe even 40 years, I'll have to double check that, but there has always been a bus through West Howe. So if you have memories of the 5s, the 5A, and obviously the V's, pop them down in the comments. So here at our stop, Now another thing I want to point out while I've got you here is the stop type. Now this one, if the light hits it just right, I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but this is one of the original yellow buses council stops. So just underneath here, you can't see it because of the light, but I can see it. You've got a 27, which was the 2B, the 5, the 6, the 5A and the 69. And those were the routes. Had a bit of vandalism on this stop, but sad to see. We'll watch this 5A go through and then we'll hop on ours. Now the last time we did the 5A, we didn't do the full route, so first and last time doing a full time lapse of the 5A, originally being the number 5 under yellow buses. This route ran from Kinston all the way to Bournemouth, and the only deviation from the route we have today is it didn't go through Charminster, it went straight up a Winton Banks and then straight down to Cemetery Junction that way. It has also had a few route number changes over the years, going from the 5 to the 5A, then to the V1/V3, before heading back to being the 5A, and soon to be withdrawn. Now the section of route we're coming up to now will be served by the new 21 route along with the existing 14, bringing you all the way up to Fernheath Road, and then at Burnley Road the 21 will split off, and then there'll be no Bournemouth bus serving until you hit Columbia Road, where the new route of the 5 will join on and go through that way. Now again, it is quite odd with this route being withdrawn, as it's been serving this part of the community for God knows how many years now, and it is just, I've just got no words because I've been travelling on this for as long as I can remember, and it's going to be sad to see it go. Well, the time of recording this time lapse, it already had, well, the audio for this, it already has gone, and I've travelled along this route as the new 5, and it is a bit odd as a feeling, so enough of me babbling. See you back in the square. back in Bournemouth Square. We've just gone off 1608 on the 5A, and now we're going to go on route number 3, 2271, to go out on the 6A. I haven't done this route in a very long time. The last time I actually did a 6A was after the original filming of the 5 and 5A with Russ. But we're going to head out on the 6A now, back to Kinston, and then we'll shoot over to Morebus station. Now the 6A, bit of the odd one out on this route, on this run through today. Running along the 6 route all the way as far as Bearwood, it then follows what used to be the 4A into Kinston before looping back and going back the same way. Now I don't have any direct routes to compare this to on its older runs, but unfortunately this service will be bowing out in favour of the Route 11, which closely follows what the 4A used to do, with the exception of the extension to Camford Paddock and turning up towards Leybourne Avenue instead of carrying down to White Leg Way. Now, all day it had been E200 MMCs on this, so it was quite nice to have a Volvo Eclipse 2 for this run, and it is a handy little service running Monday to Saturday between Bournemouth and Kinston. It serves the University, Bournemouth Station, Winton Banks, Wallistown, High Howe, Bearwood, Bear Cross before finally going into Kinston. Now I've only ever got this route once before, and that was on the, like I mentioned in the square, after we did the 5 and 5A's filming back in season 1. God, that feels like a long time ago, even though it was only 2 years ago. But it was a handy little route, this route, so I'll leave you to enjoy the time lapse, and we'll probably see you either at the other end or at Seldown. we're here in Seldown now. I know it's a bit of a jump to go from Kinston to here, but we're here now for the last bus of the day and also the last of its run. So we're going to go down on the FE1 all the way down to Ferndown Industrial and back, but we'll only time lapse a bit coming up from the industrial estate, as otherwise it'd be way too long to put in. Some nice coaches up here. We've got a Daesh, we've got a nice Scania Omni City, a couple of Van Halls, and an Levante 3 on the net extra behind me. There's even a transit minibus for the Danbury drivers in the background, but I'm going to wait for our bus to come in and we'll see you out on the road. And last but not least, we head out on the FE1 with our bus today being Solo SR number 3815 of ex-Salisbury Reds. It's now in a Route 1 livery, but we're not doing the Route 1 today. We're here for the FE1, going between Poole in Seldown Coach Park, going via Poole Hospital, near to Rossmore / Alderney, then High Howe, Longham, and then into Ferndown Industrial Estate. Now, this was the only route that I'm aware of that the driver could just have discretion about which way the bus went. So after you go to the Longham Hawkins by Hobbycraft, you can either turn left and then right as we did, go up towards Ferndown and in, or halfway up to Ferndown then across. Now, I've never actually done this route on its whole journey, and I have to confess I did lose the footage for the return journey as the phone decided to overheat. So unfortunately the bit going around the industrial estate isn't on the footage, but at some point I'm sure I can go out. I'm sure I can talk to someone and maybe get out on a heritage vehicle, but maybe that's one for the future. But the driver we had today was, for this run, was absolutely amazing. The amount of knowledge he had was astounding. So if you ever have a driver named John, I didn't catch his last name, but he's friendly, and if you ask him, he'll be happy to tell you all about the local services and some past routes. So shout out to John if you're watching this. Thank you for making this last run an absolute pleasure. Now we're just coming down towards Bear Cross now, and I'll enjoy you to enjoy the very last FE1. So we're here at the end. Sorry we lost the footage, the phone did a weird thing, but that is it. Last FE1 with a very nice driver named John, and it has been a lovely day. It's yet another route that is now confined to the history books, but it's time to move on as we're actually going to go back into the past now as he goes on.
Bye-bye!
We're going to turn back the clock for the next episode and go on a Dennis Trident, but for now it's Jack, and hopefully see you next time.
Goodbye.
For more on the More Buses.
Bye-bye! Good to see
Cheerio!
There's little else to do. There's always gay life on the buses. Make sure you leave your bird at home. You'll see so many on the buses. You won't be sitting on your own. music on the buses. You'll find it thrilling when you ride, and you can get it on the buses, upstairs or downstairs.